All right, welcome to part 2 of the chapter 2 test review for course 3. We're going to start with 44. And on 44, we plug in the information that we know. So this is going to be 2 times a negative 6 plus 3 times y, which is negative 4, times z, which is negative 8. Order of operations tells us we have to do multiplication from left to right. 2 times the negative 6 would be negative 12 plus 3 times the negative 4, which would be negative 12. And then we have times a negative 8. So we have negative 12 times a negative 8. And that gives us a positive 96. So we've got negative 12 plus 96. And now we're at the point where this is a red card and this is a black card. And so we're going to subtract them. 96 minus 12 is 84. And we take the sign of the larger one. And so this is a positive 84. Here's problem 46. 3y plus 4x. And so we plug in the information that we have again. This is going to be 3 times, and y is a negative 4, so this would be 3 times a negative 4, plus 4 times x, which is negative 6. So starting here on the left, we've got 3 times a negative 4, which is negative 12, plus 4 times a negative 6, which would be negative 24. Both of these cards would be red, negative 12, negative 24. So our answer is going to be negative, and then we're going to add those two together. That's going to give us negative 36. (48) says 9 times z minus 4 times x times y. So 9 times z, z is negative 8, minus 4 times x, which is negative 6, times y, which is negative 4. All right, left to right, we've got 9 times a negative 8 would give us a negative 72, minus 4 times a negative 6 gives us a negative 24 times a negative 4. Now we take this negative 24 and we times it by 4. Negative times a negative is a positive. So this will be a negative 72 minus 96. Now in this one we're going to add the opposite. So this would be a negative 72 plus the opposite of 96 would be a negative 96. So now we're looking at 2 red cards. When we have 2 red cards, we're going to add them together. And when we add these together, we get a negative 168. For 50 through 56, we're going to be using the same rules that we use for multiplication, which is a negative times a negative equals a positive. A negative times a positive equals a negative, and a positive times a positive equals a positive. So the same rules that we use for multiplication we're going to use for division. So here we've got a negative divided by a positive. That's going to give us an answer that's a negative. 26 divided by 2 is 13. So 50 is negative 13. 52, a negative 120 divided by a negative 15. A negative divided by a negative, or when the signs are the same, it's going to be a positive. 120 divided by 15 is 8. So our answer is positive 8. Once again, we have a negative divided by a negative in problem 54. A negative times divided by a negative is a positive. And 56 divided by 14 is 4. 56, we've got 45 divided by 9. A positive divided by a negative will give us a negative answer. 45 divided by 9 is 5. So 56 is a negative 5. 58 asks us to find the mean, and we know that the mean is the same as the average. Okay, and to find the average, we add up all the numbers, and then we divide by the sum. We we find the sum by adding them up, and then we divide by the number of inputs. So in this case, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inputs. So we will divide by 8. So on my calculator, I did 5 plus 7 plus negative 9 plus negative 2 plus negative 7 plus 8 plus negative 9 plus 6, and I get 0. Well, 0 divided by anything is 0. And so the average is equal to 0. On number 60, we're asked to find the mean, or the average once again. If we add these up, negative 11 plus 15 plus 26 plus 12 plus negative 8 plus 0 plus 1, we get 35 as our sum. And then we need to divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 35 divided by 7 is 5. 62, we've got 19 minus, and then the parentheses, negative 58 minus 81. Let's start with the parentheses, and we have negative 58, and we're going to change this to add the opposite. So what is the opposite of 81? Well, it's negative 81. And so negative 58 plus a negative 81, these would both be red cards, so we would add them together. 58 plus 81 is a negative 139. And then we've got 19 minus a negative 139. When we add the opposite, would be 19 plus the opposite of negative 139 is 139. So we would add these two together to get a positive number, and the answer is positive 158. '64, we're going to look right here at this portion. We're going to add the opposite. So what is the opposite of a negative 45? It would be positive 45. So we can rewrite this as negative 45 plus 97 plus 45. And now looking at what we have, we've got a negative 45 and a positive 45. When we add those together, we get 0. And what we're left with is 97. '66, we're looking at all of these things, and they're all multiplied together, and I think there should be a bracket here. We've got this times this times this times this. And we know that we can multiply in any order if they're all multiplication. So if you take this times this and then take this times this, you get some number, and then that some number times 0 is going to give you what? Well, any number times 0 is 0. So the answer to 66 is 0. This problem is similar to a problem that we've already had where you have a negative 19 and a positive 19. Negative 19 and a positive 19 equals 0. So it's like saying 0 plus a negative 56, and the answer is a negative 56. And on this one, for number 70, once again, we have, if we focus down here on this subtract and negative, we can add the opposite of negative 92 is plus 92. So we can rewrite it as negative 92 plus 47 plus 92. A negative 92 and a positive 92 equals 0. 0 plus 47 is equal to 47.